Okay, we are back, dear friends. Today I'd like to go on our series of Vulnhub. The virtual machine would be Driftingblues 4. I will put the link into the description section below so that you can download the image of this virtual machine. Before we start today's video, if you don't mind, please subscribe to my channel. I do appreciate your help and support. So now let's get started. To save time, I have already imported this virtual machine into the Kali Linux. So now I'd like to go into the Kali Linux. I have already imported the virtual machine into the VirtualBox. So now I'd like to go into the Kali Linux to do our penetration testing. Okay? And as you can see, I have already identified the IP address of the virtual machine as 252 by the Net Discover 2. Of course, you can choose whatever you are comfortable with. Excuse me. And I also did the Nmap scanning, and I did the scene scanning, and the version scan, the script scan, and also did the comprehensive scan by specifying the -p- option. And as you can see over here, the three open ports. The first one is 21 FTP, but from this map scanning results, we can know this FTP doesn't allow anonymous login. Okay, and the 22, which runs open SSH and also the version information. Of course, as we know, this version doesn't have any vulnerability what we can exploit. And the next one, or the last one, is 80, which runs the HTTP service, also the version information. So it's apparently what we can do next is to do some emulation for the 80 port. So now let's open up our browser, and we can fill in the IP address, as 252. So this is the default Apache 2 page. But if we check the source code, I needed to refresh this. As you can see, there is one comment, and this is, of course, we know that this is encoded in base, maybe 64. We can try that. We can make a copy and go to our terminal. We can decode the message. Okay, go back, intruder, yes. And although we decoded the message, but again, the result, part of the result is encoded again. So we need to decode furthermore. We can make a copy and decode. My Kali Linux is some slow, and then decode. What happened? What's happening? Yeah, my virtual machine, my Kali Linux. And I can check the utilization. I think it's okay. I need to fix this issue. Sorry about that. My virtual machine. Yeah, we have already got the decoded message, but again, we need to decode furthermore. Yeah, and we can use the same way to decode. And okay. So many layers of encoding. But no problem. Yeah, we got the file name, and we can copy. Maybe we can use the Q, right? Okay, yeah, I think this is encoded by brainfuck algorithm, and we can make a copy. And we need to find the online website to help us to decode this message, which we can brainfuck decode, and then we can use this one. I think this one is working properly, and we can copy and paste the message into the box and make a decoding. Now, yeah, we have already decoded the message, but again, this is another file name. We can make a copy. So maybe we can here. Yeah, so we have already successfully retrieved the picture. Of course, this is a QR code, and then we can use the website like this website to help us to scan this QR code and get the content. And from the content there, and this should be the user names, and we can make a copy into our notepad, because this, I think, may be used by the FTP or SSH. So we need to crack the password. But before we do the cracking, we need to create the user list from these 4 usernames. And I have already done that before. As you can see, we can save into our working directory. We can name it as usernames. Okay, and save. And now we can use the Hydra to crack the password and use the locq as our word list. And firstly, we can crack the password for FTP service. But if it fails, and then we can try with SSH. Let's hit enter. So I'd like to pause the video to wait for this to be completed. So after 7 minutes, we successfully got the password for the user loser. So now we can log in. But my Linux, I don't know. Okay, so now we can log in to the virtual machine and put the username, which is loser, and the password is my pix. And we can list the content. And now we can go to the Hubert and list the content, but nothing there. But if we don't forget the username list, the Hubert is another username. So we can check if we can create the directory or file on this directory. For example, we can create or make a directory SSH. Yeah, no problem. And now we are in the home directory of user Hubert. And now we can go to the this SSH subdirectory. And now we need to generate the SSH key pairs and then upload the public key to the virtual machine or the target, and then we can get the shell. Okay, now we can go to open up another tab and use the SSH key gen. But before do that, we can get our working directory or the path, the absolute path of our working directory, and then we can use SSH key gen to generate the key pairs. And we can just want to create this key pair under our working directory. The name is as A and no passphrase. Okay, no problem. And now we need to make a copy, or we can pub and to create the authorized keys, and then we need to upload these authorized keys or public key onto the virtual machine. And this will be very easy because we have already successfully logged in as FTP, and now we can use put authorized files. Yeah, no problem. And now we can go back to this shell or this terminal, change mode, the private key, and we can log in to the SSH, or we need to remove the cached keys as usual. And now we can log in again. Yeah, no problem. Now we can check the ID. Now we successfully got the user flag here. And we also do the very basic immersion. And I think when we go into the home directory of Hubert, you can notice there is one file, and the ownership is root. But we have a right or privilege to read the content of this file, and then we can cat cat emergency py. So this Python script will do this one, will do the echo, and it will generate this file under the temporary directory. So we can check this file. I don't know why my Linux is so laggy, it's so slow. We need to copy the path. Okay, let's check this file by ls command. As you can see from the time of this file, of course this is the time just when I record this video. So it means that there is some cron job running at the background, and we'll run this Python script. And so, of course, the next objective is to elevate our privilege. And we need to put our reverse shell command into this shell script. But if you check the if you check if you check the privilege of this file, we didn't have, although we can read the content of this file, but we cannot make a change for this file. But remember, we are Hubert, and this file is inside our home directory. It means that we can delete this file, and then we can create the file with the same name. But to avoid some mistake, we can back up this file first. We can use the copy and emergency back, and then we can remove this file. Yeah, no problem. We have a privilege to delete this file from our home directory, and then we need to generate our own Python script. But of course, this script should have the same file name, and I've already prepared the Python script, and this one can give us the reverse shell, and we can make a copy, and we can generate our own emergency py, and Python, and we can paste it in here, and we can make this to be we need to formalize this. Looks nicer, and we do not need the comma. And then, of course, we need to have the same ident, otherwise it will have some error. Let's check everything inside this Python script, and I think, of course, this one is my Kali Linux IP address and also the port number, which is used by the virtual machine to make reverse collection. And now we can write and quit. So of course we can open up another tab and set up the listener, and we wait for the collection from the virtual machine. Hopefully there is no problem, because as you can see, I encounter some performance issue with this Kali Linux, and I'm not sure what happened. I think I have already assigned enough memory and CPU to the Kali Linux. So I think the Kali Linux is not so stable. Yeah, we have already got the reversed shell, and now we can go to the root directory, and we can check the ID. Yeah, now we are root user. We can cut the content of the root flag. Yeah, so that's all I'd like to demonstrate and share in this video. I'm so sorry about my Kali Linux, the performance issue, a bit laggy during my recording. But I hope I have already demonstrated the major procedures for this virtual machine. Okay, thanks. Bye.